Welcome to the Beachwood Business Compass podcast, where our mission is simple: to connect local businesses with the tools, insights, and opportunities to help their business thrive. By sharing success stories, offering expert advice, and spotlighting community resources, we aim to empower Beachwood businesses to achieve growth, overcome challenges, and unlock new possibilities. Joining me today is Chad Hammond, Vice President for Membership and Product Development at the Greater Cleveland Partnership. The Greater Cleveland Partnership is the region's leading economic development organization and the largest metropolitan chamber of commerce in the nation, with over 12,000 members. Formed in 2004, it works to accelerate economic growth and enhance the business environment in Northeast Ohio through advocacy, member services, and strategic initiatives. Welcome, Chad. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I am so thrilled to have you on to talk about some of the new initiatives that are underway that you've put together for small business support here within the region. Here within the city of Beachwood, we have a one-stop resource center that we've put together to try to aid small businesses in really understanding the resources that are there to support their business growth. And now that I've come across your small business resource hub, I think it's called, I am overwhelmed by what you've been able to pull in to really showcase and support businesses in every stage of where they're at. So tell me a little bit more about the Resource Hub and some of the initiatives of the Greater Cleveland Partnership that brought this about.
Yeah, for sure. So this goes back, several years to something that we called the Business Growth Collaborative, which was a convening of what we call the entrepreneurial ecosystem, partner organizations around the region. A number of organizations like Jumpstart and the President's Council, the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, OMSDC and Magnet and OAI and the Hispanic Business Council and ECDI and Cleveland Neighborhood Progress and
which have a very key role in supporting business growth. Yeah,
they all play, different roles and very key roles. And so all getting together and obviously GCP and COSE, COSE being the small business arm of GCP, really to convene and help small businesses, particularly those that were in startup mode, to find the resources and to help with navigation to the right resources. And it's hard as a startup. It's hard to understand and navigate, the opportunities and positioning for the company and how to be able to finance it. And there's so many entry points, right? So many entrepreneurs are doers, right? They do it themselves. They do it in a vacuum. They're encouraged by friends and family to go and start a business, and they just go and do. And that's the, it's the American spirit is to just go and do. But they run into bumps along the way and don't always know where to turn. And so that's what we mean by there's so many entry points to the entrepreneurial ecosystem, support system, is they could be talking to a banker. They could be talking to an attorney. They could be talking to an accountant. They could be talking to any number of nonprofit organizations that could be support systems. They could be talking to their city economic development department for support. They could be talking to any of these nonprofit organizations for support. So the entry point to the ecosystem could be very broad. And so we convene this group on a regular basis, and there was no one central hub or list, if you will, of what everybody does. And we felt it was imperative. We were keeping a list. It was in a spreadsheet, right?
Yes. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, yeah. And it became a thing that our staff was relying on to help with navigation.
And now this resource center is kind of put that out there for all. So as a startup going to the resource hub, what will you find when you go into that web page?
So you will find different ways to sort the information, to find the information, and in different categories. So whether you're a solopreneur, whether you're a high growth business, whether you're you've been in business a long time, you're a family owned business, or you're looking to exit, or you're looking for access to capital, or you're looking for mentoring or coaching, or you're looking for a certification. It's broken down to all different kinds of categories.
Yeah, and I think, like you mentioned, it really helps them to navigate exactly what they're looking for. That's what I found was it's very simplistic. When you go into the platform, you have the ability to determine whether you're a startup entrepreneur or whether you're in a high growth situation, and through that you can really find the expert advice that you're looking for in those critical areas, whether it's access to capital, market research, and strategic, determinations of how you can position your business, down to even the fundings and incentives that local communities and organizations have to be able to support, maybe even some grant funding, I think was in there as well.
Yeah, it's not going to give you the advice, but it's going to tell you who to talk to, right? It's going to help you with navigation, right? It's going to tell you where to go, who is the right next place to talk to, and it's powered by AI.
Interesting.
It's we came across this company after our second year of employing a summer intern to help us with collecting the data behind it that helped our staff answer the questions on an ongoing basis, because we have to keep the data fresh, right? We had to keep the resources fresh, and it was a nice internship project, but it was onerous. It was labor intensive. But we came across a company called EcoMap that they're out of Baltimore, but they're in multiple cities and countries and regions. And they've created this AI product that scrapes the internet and pulls in all of these resources on a regular basis and keeps it fresh, so that the tools are there, and we tell it what to scrape. Gotcha. So we told it we want resources that are owned and maintained by nonprofit organizations and government agencies. So none of the resources that are there are for-profit companies. So they're all free resources.
And I was impressed just because I was kind of diving into it to try to identify, okay, well, what kind of information can companies find on an incentive from an incentive standpoint? Because, a lot of business growth relies on opportunities to navigate those financing mechanisms that will help them with equipment, capital, purchase of buildings, assets. And as I'm diving through, I came across our own webpage, which was so nice to see. And it pulled together some of the information that we have on our revolving loan fund here within the city of Beachwood. And as I kind of dove into other areas of that website, I saw there were a lot of resources like that really are region specific, and then also more global in the terms of what's out there from ECDI and some of these other more statewide programs.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is you can so once you get into a category, you can also continue filtering it by where you're located. So whether you're in a county or a city. We cover a wide region. We're the Greater Cleveland Partnership, so we cover, the Greater Cleveland MSA, a 17-county region. So if you're in Beachwood, you can filter it down to Cuyahoga County to get those kinds of resources, or say you're in Beachwood and ask for those kinds of resources. Or, we have a chat bot on the corner.
Okay.
So you can talk in plain language to the chatbot and say, hey, I'm a female-owned business and I'm looking for access to capital resources, or I'm looking to apply for a SBA loan.
Yeah.
Who should I talk to? And it will give you specific programs for female-owned businesses. So it's a little more
That's
customized.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you don't have to just go through the categories pre-programmed. You know, there's over 900 resources that are indexed in there. And so you can go through the lists if you want to. But there's also the AI chatbot that you can talk in plain language to it. Type in there or use your microphone and talk to it, and it'll pull it up in sort of in plain language and give you the search results that you're looking for.
That is incredible. And I know how overwhelming it is because I got lost in it. And as I said to you, I feel like I didn't even spend enough time in there. And it was a couple hours. You can just continue to dive through incredible information on that site.
Well, I'm glad it pulled up the right results.
Yes. Yeah. And the other thing too that I was really intrigued about was a number of coaching, mentorship programs, the opportunities for these certifications like you mentioned, because as small business owners, you don't always have the time to get away to some of those programs that you'd like to, and having those quick bites for certification programs and deeper knowledge on specific areas that you're interested in, I think was really key.
Yeah. Those are truly, some of the most valuable programs. Things like the SBA's houses the SCORE mentoring program, the coaching and mentoring that they provide. It's free.
Yeah.
It's a way that you can get outside a third party view, non-biased, somebody who's been there and done it, to take a look at your business plan and help, or if you don't have a business plan yet, to develop one. And, that sometimes is a critical, getting over the hurdle point that many business owners need.
Absolutely. And there isn't cost to these programs.
No cost.
And, it even pulls in some of the information like Tri-C's 4-step program here, where scholarships are available to small businesses to be able to access those classes and those courses and just bring themselves into a place of deeper knowledge. And I was joking here with our director of the podcast studio, Josh, because I find myself, in the late evenings is when I have time to go into that, or really early in the mornings. And it's a 24/7 opportunity for businesses to be able to access that information, which is nice. Otherwise, you were calling the SBDC or making a phone call to the GCP and waiting for that 8 a.m. time to be able to connect.
Yeah. And, another reason that we put this together is, at the wide ecosystem of nonprofit organizations that are out there that we work with, there is high turnover that we find. People move on. It's just a fact. People will live there or work there, for a few years, and that's a part of their career. They gain some great experience, and then somebody else comes in, but that knowledge moves on, and this can be a great tool for them, those employees at these nonprofit organizations, or CDCs, a lot of times, community development corporations that are in the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
To help those Main Street USA businesses, they're in the neighborhoods to help those businesses navigate to the resources that they need. So it's really out there for the good of the business community.
Well, like I said, having the one-stop resource center here in Beachwood, I thought I had pulled a lot of resources in until I came to yours and realized that there were a lot of programs that I was not yet familiar with, that were embedded in either into the city of Cleveland or here within the Cuyahoga County area. So I have a lot more research on my end to continue to do through your program as well. Anything else that you'd like to share about how people can reach out, or other opportunities for connectivity with the Greater Cleveland Partnership or COSE?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing to know is it's a free resource. It's able to be found at COSE.org. That's COSE.org under resources, and it's the Small Business Resource Hub.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so glad you joined us today to talk a little bit more about this. I encourage everybody to reach out to their website and take a look at that. If anyone is interested in exploring the Small Business Resource Hub, you can always reach it also through our one-stop resource center at beachwoodohio.com. Thank you for joining me today and look forward to future conversations.
Thank you.